What is going on, my people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy KT. Peace and love to you all. Appreciate y'all tuning in again. If you're new here, you know what I'm saying, welcome. You know, we talk a lot about social media marketing and what it means to have an agency. So appreciate y'all tuning in and coming to kick it with me. Just got my little tea right here. You know what I'm saying? I actually don't drink coffee. I quit coffee a little while ago, but I do drink a whole lot of matcha, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not familiar with what matcha is, it's basically just green tea leaves that are like finely grinded, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I find that matcha is super solid just because coffee kind of gets you like up and then you go straight down. Whereas matcha, there is like slight caffeine in it, not very high, but there is a little bit of caffeine in it. It kind of like goes up and you kind of just cruise. So there's no like crash or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it's what works for me. Coffee, I found, I kind of like became very dependent on it like very quickly. Whereas matcha, it's like I can be with it, I can be without it. It's solid. So it does me nice. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't tried it, give it a try. You might like it. In today's video, we're gonna be discussing what I feel like I see a lot of people talking about online, you know what I'm saying? Which is, should you dive straight into the ecom niche as a beginner? I see threads on this all the time, like literally all the time. So I just wanted to address it myself as someone who was a beginner, and honestly, technically I still kind of am. I'm still pretty new within the space, but you know what I'm saying? Who was a beginner and dove straight into the ecom space to then, you know, pivoting and, you know, getting away from the ecom space. So should you avoid ecom as your niche as a beginner? Personally, I say you should. Only because the ecom niche is, of course, like the most competitive right now. So not to say in any way that it's impossible to find success in the ecom niche as a beginner. No, that is not what I'm saying at all. You can, okay? But you just have to really put together a really solid team, primarily a media buyer. So you need to have someone who on your team, if it isn't you need to have someone on your team who's highly experienced with Facebook ads, TikTok ads, SEO, like whatever it is, whatever type of offer that you're like trying to put in place, you need to have someone who is bought into your goal. And if you don't have case studies of your own, of other ecom brands that you've worked with, you need case studies. Like in ecom, without case studies, you're not signing any clients. Like again, that might be a bit exaggerated for some, might be a stretch for some, but based on my own experience, if you don't have any case studies in the ecom space, you're not getting any clients, bro. And that's the bottom line. But that's cool. Like, it's totally fine. If you can find, again, a media buyer who can buy into your vision and not only like be cool with you giving their case studies as a means of reference to onboard other clients, then you can go for it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, what you also need to understand is a lot of the media buyers out there are so like concerned, right, about how you're gonna utilize these case studies, because again, a lot of these dudes have a bad taste in their mouth as far as, you know, bad experiences that they've had in the past with other agency owners. There will be other agencies who will say one thing to a media buyer and get them to agree to allow them to leverage their case studies, but then it's almost like these agencies claim that these case studies are theirs, right? Like it was them, they were the ones that ran the ads, they are the ones who have the experience generating all these sales or all these leads for these brands, right? So then there's like a very strong sense of distrust with a lot of these media buyers. But again, it's not impossible. You can, if you like look thoroughly, find a solid media buyer with some solid experience, and if you guys can like really vibe on like a very genuine level and you guys establish a very strong foundation, a strong partnership, you can get it going within the ecom space. But I'm just giving you all a heads up, man. It is one of the more competitive spaces right now. You know what I mean? Like, if not the most competitive, because what you need to understand, okay? A lot of us within the social media marketing space, right? We are in this space for a lot of reasons. One of the more prominent reasons being that we have low overhead, right? It's a service-based business, right? So we have low overhead. So there's a lot of room for profit, a lot of room for margin because we don't have all these expenses, right? That is the exact same deal with ecom business owners. Their expenses, they're not paying for brick and mortar stores, right? They don't have leases that they're paying or rent in most cases, right? So their primary budget, their primary expenses is marketing, right? So whoever it is that they're paying these marketing dollars to, do, they want to ensure that they're gonna see some kind of a return on their investment. Again, I've spoken about this in a lot of my videos. The biggest barrier in this game, the biggest hurdle that you're gonna need to overcome in the beginning, especially if you're in the ecom niche, is trust. Because there are so many ecom brands that need marketing, they're in need of these services, they're looking to be exposed on different platforms, and there's so many different ones right now, but they don't know who to trust. So how do you get them to trust you? You need case studies. Okay, so if you don't have experience with Facebook ads yourself, you have to go find someone that does, right? But they have to be completely bought in. Like, y'all gotta be like this, bro. You guys really have to be on the same page, you know what I'm saying? So that is honestly like my 2 cents as far as whether or not you should avoid ecom in the beginning. To answer that question and to simplify it, I say yes, just because it's a lot harder to, you know, get things going within the most competitive niche right now, being ecom. So I would suggest starting off with a creative agency, and then building your portfolio, building your network, and then upselling media buying within your agency if necessary going forward. It really does nurture the soul. It does, man. I just feel like in most cases, and honestly, like I'm now speaking from experience, we want to get the ball rolling so eagerly, right? We want to be successful so bad. We want, right? So we try and run before we walk, or we try and fly before we run. You know what I'm saying? And that actually stunts your growth, right? When you try and grow too quickly. It's like, think about like if you were to go to the gym like 7 days a week, no rest days. Like some people might think you're gonna elevate faster that way. No, you're not. You need to incorporate balance with whatever goal it is that you have in place. So going to the gym 7 days is you're not gonna see the type of results that you want. That's not gonna accelerate the process. You need to maybe like 4 days a week, right? Some bodybuilders and whatnot, like they might have different plans in place. I'm no bodybuilder, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's not what I'm going for. But yeah, like you wanna incorporate pace, you wanna incorporate balance into your routines. And I feel like that's no different pertaining to the initial offer that you wanna present in the beginning stages of your agency. You know what I'm saying? So initially I thought that being in the most lucrative space, being ecom, although it was the most competitive, I kept thinking about the fact that of course ecom business owners, they're generating a lot of revenue, and all the money that they reinvest into the business is going straight into marketing. So I thought, okay, this is gonna be my best way of, you know, building a successful agency faster. But again, I've completely changed my approach. I've extended my timeline, and I don't doubt that I will find success within this space, but I've just become a lot more patient. You know what I'm saying? So I would definitely advise you to do the same. Start off with a creative agency. That's my best piece of advice, and work your way up from there. Ecom is, of course, super lucrative, as I've said, but I found that the most successful ecom agencies are actually those who are running like paid ads, again, have testimonials, which is huge, solid case studies, and personal brands. Those who have personal brands. So if you have all those 3 things in place, I feel like you could build a very successful ecom agency. But me personally, that's not where I'm at right now. So that's why I'm focusing a lot more on the creative side and short form content, like I said. So that's the approach that I've taken on. But again, everyone needs to assess their own situation based on where they currently are. You know what I'm saying? So you need to make that choice for yourself. But again, just use content like this and really develop a better understanding of the path that you need to take and why. You have to have a solid plan in place. You can't take action without a strong sense of direction. And at first, again, like that's always the challenge in the beginning, is having a solid sense of direction. And my plan was just to get into what I thought to be the hottest space. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it backfired. I wasn't able to sign any clients within the ecom space, but I learned so much about the current state of the industry, what people are looking for, and yeah, just trying to capitalize on my own strengths. And that's why I'm now focusing more on the creative side. So yeah, man, just reassess it for yourself. But personally, I don't believe it makes the most sense to dive straight into the ecom niche, just because there are a lot of variables. And another thing you need to consider, right, is these ecom business owners are obviously a lot more tech savvy. Of course, right? They have an online store, so they need to understand the importance of online marketing, what works, what doesn't. Like they've done their homework, like they know, right? They already know like what they need and what they don't. So in order to connect with them on that level, like you really need to be able to speak their language to a certain degree. So yeah, a lot of things to consider. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was valuable, and I hope you were able to, you know, get a better understanding of the approach that you need to take going forward within your own agency. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. brand. If you haven't already started a personal brand, you should go ahead and do that ASAP, because I feel like it's the foundation for long-term success and to really create a lot of doors for potential clients and people to work with. So yeah, man, if you haven't already, subscribed to the channel, bro. Would highly appreciate it if you did. Also, dropping a thumbs up on this video. I already know how it works, man. It does wonders for the algorithm and just pushes out my content to a lot of like-minded people who also enjoy this type of content. So would highly appreciate that. Peace and love to you all. Wish you an amazing day, an amazing week, and catch you on the next video, man. It's KT.